Land. I am your momentary host, Dan Thornton. As you can see from the thumbnail for this particular show, some news just hit. We've been hearing about it for, to be fair, about a week now, that there's been a severe fracture between Max Crosby, the superstar defensive end for the Las Vegas Raiders, and now it's become out and part of widespread media news that, yes, he has informed Tom Brady, one of the partial owners of the Raiders, that he will not return to the Raiders. Does this mean he's directly coming to the Detroit Lions? Probably not. But for those who say that he's come out and talked in recent days, last week or so, during Super Bowl pressers, junkets, etc., that he would like to get out of out of Vegas, no longer part of the Raiders, this now confirms that. It also reaffirms a video that came out during press row last week, and to be fair, the year before, where he came out and said, Max Crosby said, his desired destination, should he leave Las Vegas, is the Detroit Lions. Will make this move? Probably not be my huge assumption, but as you can see from the thumbnail for this show, it has been confirmed through multiple different national media outlets, including Pro Football Talk. I do want to give credit where credit's due. He's come out and confirmed a conversation was had between Max Crosby and Tom Brady. And Tom Brady, for those who don't know, he owns like 5 or 10% of the Las Vegas Raiders now. That Max Crosby has told Brady he will not return to the organization. What happened at the end of the year last year, where they sat Crosby and a number of other veterans to try to secure the #1 overall draft pick, that didn't sit well with the veterans, especially Max Crosby. Anybody who pays attention to this guy understands he's wired a certain way. He wants to win at all costs. With the writing on the wall now, you're going to have all sorts of changes with the Raiders. Crosby's making it abundantly clear to anybody with a microphone or in ownership potential for the Las Vegas Raiders that he doesn't want to be a part of that organization anymore. I know there'll be a whole lot of videos. Crosby's going to Washington. Crosby's going to Green Bay. Crosby's going to the other side of the planet. Crosby's going to the Detroit Lions. I don't know if Crosby's going to come to the Detroit Lions, but what we do all know is he now confirms he wants to no longer be a Raider. Well, does this give the Raiders more leverage in any kind of potential trade? Probably not. It means the price tag's probably coming down. His contract, well, it's no longer one of the top ones in the NFL. It's still something from a Detroit Lions perspective. Brad Holmes would really have to do some numbers, figure things out how to add him. Do I think Brad Holmes is going to give up a couple first-round picks for him? I don't. I think if the Lions were in play for him, it would probably be for a second other draft capital consideration. I don't think they're going to throw in any big-name players. I know one of the names thrown out there is Jameson Williams. He's, in my opinion, I guess I'll be shocked if it happens, but I don't think Jameson Williams is leaving the Detroit Lions. Another name that was thrown out there was Aleem McNeil. I mean, if it was a straight-up trade, I'd probably do it, but I don't think that's possible. I think Dan Campbell really likes Aleem McNeil. I think Aleem McNeil is one of their core players for the Detroit Lions. I would take that off the table. Crosby's probably going to play somewhere else, not in Vegas next year. The question now becomes, where does he play? I can only speak to this. It's now out there for the world to know. He's talked to Tom Brady. He's talked to other people. He's talked to the Raiders representation. Says he will not come back. He will not suit up again. He will not play again. He wants to be a part of a winning organization that's in it to win it. And I get it. At this point in his career, in his later 20s, he doesn't want to mess around with the rebuild. He doesn't want to mess around with the organization he's lost faith in. And it seems that is the case. Max Crosby once could say nothing wrong about the Las Vegas Raiders. Now he can say nothing right. Will he become a Detroit Lion? I think it's a long shot at best, but it doesn't mean it couldn't happen. What it would come down to, in my humble opinion, if the Lions were to go for it, Raiders would have to eat a lot of the salary. And I don't think Brad Holmes is giving up a first-round pick. That's just my opinion. I don't have any kind of information. Nobody's told me anything to the contrary. But where does he go? I think the big thing, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, you don't want him to go into the Bears, which I do think that is a destination that the Bears would look to try to throw in, go after Crosby. It also kind of fits their mantra of their GM in the past couple of years. The Green Bay Packers, the fact they add Micah Parsons last year, I think Crosby's out of there. But what about the Minnesota Vikings? I can see the Vikings, depending on who their new, how they approach things with the new general manager, et cetera, I could see them being in play. So right there, just from a Detroit Lions standpoint, if I'm Brad Holmes, I may have to ultimately make the choice. Do I want to go in and get this guy, or do I want to coach against this guy? Stay tuned. If I do get any other further breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as soon as possible. If you would be so kind, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Again, I want to reiterate, this is not information I produce. I got it from Pro Football Focus. I think Hutch Jr. got it over to me and a number of the other Dew Crew members. Once I got done with my own practice, I could get to this story. Do I think Brad Holmes is going to add Max Crosby? I don't. Do I think his time with the Raiders is done? I do. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the day. We'll see you on the next Lions Talk Live. See you guys.